Good evening. I'm bringing you a story that the mainstream media would rather you ignore. A story that fits into a disturbing pattern, one that repeats itself with alarming regularity. January 22, 2026, Tarana, a small town in Ujjain district of Madhya Pradesh. What started as a verbal dispute escalated into coordinated violence that left an entire community terrorized, businesses destroyed, and a curfew imposed. But this isn't just about Tarana, this is about a pattern of violence that erupts predictably, targets specific communities, and then gets conveniently forgotten in the news cycle. Tonight, we are not forgetting. Tonight, we are connecting the dots. Let me walk you through the timeline. On January 22nd, 2026, at approximately 7:30 p.m., Sohail Thakur Bundela, the head of Vishwa Hindu Parishad's Go Sevak Prakoshta in Tarana, was standing near the Bare Ram Mandir in Shukra Mohalla. A verbal argument broke out. The reason? Bundela was accused of staring and standing in the same spot. Let that sink in. A man was attacked for where he chose to stand. Within minutes, 6 men, Ishan Mirza, Sapan Mirza, Shadap alias Idli, Salman Mirza, Rizwan Mirza, and Naved, assaulted Bundela, causing severe head injuries. His associate, Rajat Thakur, was also injured. The police registered a case of attempted murder. 5 arrests were made. 1 accused remains at large. But the violence didn't stop there. By Thursday night, stone pelting erupted. Over 24 vehicles were damaged, including 11 buses at the local bus stand. The town was on the edge. And then came Friday, Juma namaz, and everything escalated. On Friday morning, Hindus gathered outside Tarana police station demanding justice and the arrest of all accused. They sat in peaceful protest, reciting the Hanuman Chalisa. The police tried to negotiate. The situation was tensed but under control. But after Juma namaz at the Takia mosques in Keri Mohalla, a large mob, many wearing masks, took to the streets. What followed was systematic, targeted violence. Buses set on fire, Hindu homes pelted with stones, window panes shattered. A Hindu temple attacked, over 15 vehicles damaged in this second wave. Armed rioters carrying swords roused Hindu neighborhood. Women reported that rioters tried to force entry into Hindu homes, hurling abuses and glass butters. Local residents reported stone pelting came from a local mosque. Eyewitnesses said the violence was not random, it was targeted. By Friday night, a curfew. Over 15 to 20 people were detained, drones were deployed, heavy police forces from it keep happening. Because here's what the mainstream media will not tell you. Tarana is not an isolated incident. It is part of a pattern. According to research in 2023, there is documented evidence of multiple instances where violence erupted immediately after Friday namaz across different states. November 2021, Maharashtra, anti-Hindu violence across multiple districts after Friday namaz. March 2025, Nagpur, communal violence following demands related to Aurangzeb's tomb. January 2026, recently, multiple locations during Saraswati Puja, 9 separate cases of attacks and disruptions. During Ram Navami processions, stone pelting. During Hanuman Jayanti celebrations, violence. During Holi, attacks. during Saraswati Puja in 2026, 9 documented cases of stone pelting and deity vandalism. In Hazaribagh, which has become a hotbed of Islamic violence against Hindus, according to multiple reports, Muslims have repeatedly targeted Hindu festivals. So when the data says hate speech targets Muslim, ask yourself, does that data capture the stone being thrown at Hindu processions, the buses being burnt, Hindu homes and businesses being destroyed? Now let's talk about Sohail Thakur Bundela. Why he was targeted? He was the head of the Go Sevak Prakoshta, a cow protection. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the cow is not just an animal, she is Go Mata, the sacred mother. For thousands of years, Hindu civilization has revered and protected the cow. Why? Because the cow represents ahimsa, non-violence. She gives milk without asking for anything in return. Her dung provides fuel and fertilizer. Her urine has medicinal properties documented in Ayurveda and now even proven by modern science. The entire agrarian ecosystem of ancient Hindu civilization was built around the cow. Cow protection is not vigilantism. It is sacred duty. It is a spiritual obligation. But today, cow protection activists are demonized. International organizations like Human Rights Watch publish reports titled Violent Cow Protection in India, painting Hindu activists as aggressors. But where are the reports on those who brutally attack these activists? Where is the international outrage when Hindu workers are assaulted for their beliefs? According to some reports, the attackers threatened Sohail Thakur not to work for cow protection. This was an attack on a man whose only crime was protecting what his faith holds sacred. And now, let me take you through a history that has been systematically erased from your textbooks, whitewashed by historians and dismissed by the international community. The persecution of the Hindu civilization. According to comprehensive historical documentation, the persecution of Sanatana Hindu Dharma spans over 700 years and it is still continuing. The numbers are staggering. 412 million Hindus massacred throughout 7 centuries. 95 million Hindus tortured under political crimes. 56 nations where Hindu civilization once flourished. Hindu lands, Hindu sovereign lands, lost. 200 Hindu kingdoms erased. 10,000 Hindu sampradayas or traditions destroyed. But here's what will shock. Under government control through the HR&C department, the Hindu religious and charitable endowments. No mosques or church faces this, only Hindu temples. In 2022, the government liquidated $2 billion worth of Hindu temple gold. Hindu lands are encroached upon, Hindu funds are embezzled, and the physical attacks continue. According to various reports, 2025 witnessed a surge in Hindu temple desecrations, forced conversions, targeted attacks on Hindu women, abductions, and online abuse of Hindu deities. This is not ancient history. This is happening now. While you're watching this, why the mainstream media stays silent? Hindus are attacked. Hindu homes are burned. Hindu festivals are disrupted. Hindu temples are desecrated. And when Hindus speak up, they are called communal. They are called intolerant. They are accused of playing the victim, but the evidence doesn't lie. The pattern doesn't lie. The bodies doesn't lie. But in the face of this ongoing persecution, there is hope, there is revival, there is healing. Led and revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, the United States of Kailasa has emerged as the world's only first sovereign state for Hindus. Think about it as the Vatican for Hindus, a sovereign nation that represents the 2 billion Hindus worldwide, a voice for those who have been silenced, a sanctuary for those who have been persecuted and are still persecuted. The vision of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is clear, crystal clear. To revive the ancient Hindu civilization based on 3 fundamental principles. One is ahimsa, non-violence towards all living beings. Advaita, the recognition of oneness, that we are all divine. Divine rights, not just human rights, but the right of every being to be treated as Paramashiva, the manifestation of the divine. In a world where Hindu voices are silenced, where temples are attacked, where Hindus are brutalized for protecting cows, Kailasa stands as a beacon of hope, of sovereignty, and a spiritual revival. So let's return to where we started, Tarana, January 22nd and 23rd, 2026. On the surface, it is just another communal clash. Section 144 imposed, a few arrests made. The media moves on to the next story. But if you have been paying attention, if you have been connecting the dots, you know that this is part of something much larger. This is about the systematic targeting of the Hindu religious practices. This is about attacks on those who protect the Hindu Dharma. This is about a pattern of post-Friday violence that repeats with disturbing regularity. And this is about a 700-year-old persecution that the world refuses to acknowledge. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is the world's oldest living civilization. It has survived because of the resilience of its people, because of the dedication of its monks and sannyasis. This civilization gave the world yoga, mathematics, the concept of Ayurveda, the philosophy of violence, just to name a few. The recognition that the divine exists in everything, the recognition that you are divine, you are God. And despite centuries of persecution, it still stands, it still practices, it still believes. Under the leadership of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and through the revival of Kailasa by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Hindus worldwide now have a voice, a platform, a sovereign state, Kailasa, that represents their rights and their civilization. Tarana deserves peace. Hindu communities deserve safety. And Sanatana Hindu Dharma deserves to be practiced without fear, without persecution. This is about justice. This is about truth. This is about survival. And the truth, as our ancient scriptures proclaim, always prevails. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and until next time.